It's Taco Tuesday!
Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Taco, back with another banger, and I just want to start off by saying a huge thanks to everyone who has been supporting the videos and the channel recently. We broke the 1,000 subscriber milestone, and we're really starting to build a solid foundation and really a solid community. So thank you all for the support. For today's video, I'm really covering just two projects that I actually see being potential blue chips. And I know we throw that word around all the time. Every project is a potential blue chip, especially on YouTube. But I genuinely mean it with these two projects. And that's because they're innovating. They're doing things that we haven't seen in the space. And when you look at the blue chip projects, they're all first in doing something new that has further progress the space in some kind of way. As always, and for all of my videos, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research because there's a ton of stuff out here, and I'm going to try to give you guys as in-depth of an analysis as possible so you guys can make your own decisions. If you guys have been enjoying the videos recently, hammer the like button, subscribe to the channel, and then drop a comment letting me know what projects are you guys hyped about and looking forward to. To kick us off, the first project I'm going to be looking at is Phantom Network, or Project PXN. Now, I actually covered Project PXN in pretty decent detail, mainly just talking about the art, really the hype around it, and explaining, how Project PXN plays a part in the Nanoverse or NanoPass. And so, yeah, this was about a month ago. As you guys can see, they had 58,000 followers here, so I wasn't like super early or anything. I was in the first 2,000 or 3,000 in the Discord server though, which obviously helps when it comes to getting whitelisted. But you guys can see they're at 313,000 followers now, so they've 6x'd on Twitter. And then if we go and look at their Discord right now, they have about 12,000 in the server, which still isn't a ton for a collection that is going to have 10,000. Now, keep in mind, the Discord is closed. If you guys want to get access, you're going to want to follow their Twitter, follow all the members of the team, and keep an eye out for when they have Twitch streams, because when they do and there's games going on, they will put links in the chat and codes in the chat for you guys to get in the server. Now, in my last video, I already talked a lot about that relationship between NanoPass and Project PXN. For this video, I just want to focus specifically on PXN. So if you want to understand the greater ecosystem, definitely check out that video and read on their light paper in terms of what they have coming for NanoPass and how everything is connected. In terms of the art, I showed a bit of this last time. They're not all going to be animated. I think it's mainly just going to be the one-of-ones and, kind of the more legendary ones out there. So it is going to be, static 2D art, but what we've seen has looked seriously good. Here, they just recently showed one of the new legendaries, and the quality is just incredible. So this is really going to serve as the PFP for this greater collection, because obviously no one's going to want to have NanoPass, which is just a plot of land, as their profile picture. In terms of a roadmap, they've announced again and again that the roadmap will be announced and explained on Mint. Mint is expected to be at the end of the month. We don't know the Mint price yet, but what we do know is that they are innovating with this utility called the PXN Gray Market. And so recently we've seen these kind of whitelist marketplaces, but we haven't actually seen a marketplace where you're actually able to really buy real life goods or collectibles or things that people just like. So this is going to be available on Mint. I believe the alpha or kind of the beta testing is going to happen this week for those that are holders of NanoPass. But what I will say is the gray market looks extremely interesting to me. This is one of those innovative things that a project does that separates it from all else and really puts it on a new pedestal. So there could be a ton of different things on this gray market. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work in terms of, are ghosts going to be able to actually sell things on here? Is it going to be the team just having rewards and goodies that you're able to actually purchase using PXN? So as you can see here, you'll have the choice of using Ethereum or PXN token, which you will gain by obviously holding, potentially staking your NFT. An interesting part of this too is that, oftentimes with any kind of staking or any kind of token, it's just, you hold and you accumulate. And they're actually going to have a bit of a different feature here where, let's say you're more active in the Discord. Let's say you're more active on the gray market in terms of buying things. You're actually going to level up and accumulate more PXN tokens than someone who simply just holds and maybe focuses and grinds other projects. Maybe they don't use the market. So it really incentivizes people to actually use this platform, and their greater goal is for the gray market or this platform overall to actually be used by people who are not only in NFTs, kind of your normies or your everyday people who have crypto and want to actually use it to buy real goods, real collectibles. When you're holding your PXN on top of this awesome utility, you are going to get your weekly white boxes. So those of you who are familiar with NanoPass, each week they get a black box that is going to have what they have, frags in it, which is their token over there. And then for PXN, we can expect, possibly your PXN token. There will be cosmetics for your NFT. So you're actually gonna be able to change, potentially its weapons, its clothes, how it looks, which is crazy. I'm very curious to see how they execute on that. Whitelist spots, among some other things. Now, for you guys who are asking, okay, so you told us how to get in the Discord. How do we get on the whitelist? This project has 300,000 followers. Is there a chance? Yes, I will say that the Discord is extremely competitive. I know there's 12,000 people in here, but I mean, the activity is insane. There are a lot of people in here grinding. You can see, the voice chats are packed with people. My biggest advice would be get in the Discord as soon as possible if you aren't already, and then check out the events that they have. They're having streams where they're playing games. They're having Valorant tournaments. They're having a handful of other ways where you can kind of write lore, create art, whatever. Specialize, like I said on my last video, specialize on what you're best at. Use that as your strength and get this whitelist because this project is going to do numbers. The next project I'm covering is MoonBirds. Now, if you're active in this space at all, I think the last week, maybe week and a half, MoonBirds has been all the talk. This is also going to be one of those projects, like I mentioned earlier in the video, where there's a lot of liquidity on the sidelines waiting for April 16th, which is this Friday, because that will announce the results of the public raffle for the MoonBirds mint. Basically, MoonBirds were going to do a Dutch auction starting at 2.5 ETH, and just with the NFT market and how Dutch auctions work, plus the hype backing this project and this team, the idea was that, it was going to completely sell out at 2.5 ETH. Bots and whales were going to eat it up, and they want more unique holders. They genuinely want to build a stronger community, don't want a gas war, so they scrapped that idea and they went with using pre-mint. So essentially, you needed to have 2.5 ETH in your wallet just to enter, and by Friday, everyone will know whether or not they won it. I think there was 7,500 spots, and then if you held Proof Collective, if you were a holder of their Genesis collection, their Proof Pass, which is there's 1,000 of them, you were guaranteed 2 mints. So as you can see, the Proof Collective Pass here, 1,000 items. They have 930 owners, which is really good for unique holders. It's sitting at 84 ETH, which is like $240,000. So it wasn't at this price. I want to say it was around 50 or so, or maybe even a little bit lower. But the sales have just absolutely been ripping throughout the week with people wanting to be a part of Proof Collective. If you're not familiar, which I wasn't, I think a lot of people had no idea what Proof, what this pass even was up until the last 2 weeks because of MoonBirds. But essentially, it's an alpha group. They're really die-hard collectors. They have all kinds of reports that are written up on upcoming projects. It's a really tight-knit group, tight-knit community, and with a floor of 84, I'm assuming there are a ton of whales and really smart people in there that are active and involved in the NFT space. So with 84 ETH floor, with a decent bit of volume and demand here, this gives you an idea of why there's a lot of hype for MoonBirds right now. I also think it gives you an idea of why MoonBirds is requiring 2.5 ETH for the raffle, and the mint is going to be 2.5 ETH. Now, before we go any further, don't get me wrong. I know 2.5 ETH is a lot to a lot of you. It's a lot to me, especially for a mint on a project where, there's no guarantees. We have no idea what is going to happen with this project. All we know is that, their 1,000 pass collection has an 84 ETH floor, and I'll talk about the team and the founders in just a second and why, I do believe in them. But I mean, 2.5 ETH for, this pixel 8-bit art. A lot of you probably think I'm crazy. One, I think the art is really clean. This pixel art is not my style at all, but I think it's done extremely well here. They have, 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 traits, and I think that is just going to make for a clean. It looks really great as a PFP, as you can see, kind of their profile picture. And then I want to say that someone threw up some mock-ups of some 3D versions. Yeah, if you eventually are going to get a 3D version that looked like this, I'd be really impressed. But like I said, 2.5 ETH is a lot for a lot of people. Just because you're priced out now and maybe you don't, like, I might not win the raffle, for instance. I would probably be priced out if it went to, 5 to 10 ETH. That's fine, because ultimately I know that if I really am interested in MoonBirds, if I believe that they're the next blue chip project, which I think they have the potential to be, I'm going to flip a lot of these projects in the next few months, next few weeks, and potentially get the liquidity, maybe hit a 1 of 1 or a legendary, whatever else, to where I can eventually get into MoonBirds. The key here in terms of utility and why MoonBirds is worth it is you are going to get access to that proof collective Discord. So that elite group, that alpha group, you're going to get access and see what they're talking about. Now, it's going to be token gated, meaning that you're going to need to have a MoonBird. You're going to need to verify ownership to be able to see part of the Discord. You're not going to get full access because, they have to pay 84 ETH to get that kind of experience, but you will be able to connect and potentially build some really solid relationships in there. That's one part of it. The second part is nesting. So this is going to be really what everyone thinks is very unique about MoonBirds. What's going to set this project apart? And once again, it's innovation. Basically, nesting is going to be the same as staking. The only key here is that there's actually going to be a time allocated for how long you did it. And the longer you hold, the higher tiers or levels you're going to go up and increase. So basically, your nests are going to be upgraded and enabled for drops and rewards. Why is this important? And the reason why is they even talk about this themselves. If you guys know the Bored Ape coin drop, there were people that were able to buy you an ape the day before and then get that ape token airdrop, which was, tens of thousands of dollars, right? That doesn't make sense for someone that has been holding and they've been an OG ape for months, that they're going to get the same amount of ape token as someone who bought in the day before, riding the hype and the FOMO. So it really rewards people who back and believe in the project. I think the other thing to talk about here that a lot of projects throw around the word community, right? We all talk about how, blank project has a great community. The community is just different here. The alpha in this community is great. The thing is, though, is that these projects and just how they're built, they want those secondary royalties. They want people flipping the project, buying and selling out of it. They know when they drop an announcement that the volume is going to be crazy and they're going to get paid. The thing is with MoonBirds and their whole point around community is that, look, if you're nesting your MoonBird and you're holding on to it, trying to get those rewards for holding it for 50 days, 100 days or so, you're an active participant in that community. You're someone where when you go in there, people are going to recognize you. There's less turnover, meaning that you actually build connections and relations with the people in the Discord. And I think that's so important. I think so many more projects, PFP projects in particular, need mechanisms like this, because really, what is community if there's new people in and out every single day? The next thing I'll talk about very briefly is Project Highrise. This is basically going to be their take on the metaverse. So, rather than being some kind of expansive land, they want it to be curated specifically for NFT collectors and investors. This is expected to come this year. If you have MoonBirds or the Proof Pass, you will have access or whitelist to Project Highrise. If MoonBirds does well, you can believe that the demand and hype around Project Highrise will definitely be elevated on a higher level. So once again, this is a team that's bringing value to their holders within 6 months, I believe they said. So this is something that you definitely want to keep an eye on and keep it on your horizon. Going back to MoonBirds for 1 second, another thing that is very interesting. And so, we talk about nesting it and having those rewards. They mentioned that different traits are going to have different rewards than everyone else. For instance, the example they use is if you have an astronaut helmet, you might be able to go visit, SpaceX once a year if you hold it for X amount of days or you hit a certain tier of nesting. So it's almost like the traits that you have are going to have different utility for you. And I think that brings a whole other idea to like rarity and kind of just, you know, picking what you like, what you're interested in based on these traits. You know, maybe this one has a captain hat here. Maybe you're going to get some kind of like cruise or boat ride or something like that. So it's a really cool thing. What my understanding is from how they explain the rewards, it's going to be a lot of IRL physical integration, physical goods, physical events. To justify a 2.5 ETH mint price and really a lot of the hype around this project, you're going to have a docs team with experience of building, creating products. And we have Kevin Rose, who is going to be the founder of both the Proof Collective and of MoonBirds. So Kevin Rose, I wasn't familiar with him before, but he was the host of Modern Finance, that podcast. He's a partner at True Ventures. So, you know, they're investing in NFTs, crypto, DeFi. Kevin Rose just seems to be the real deal. He's got 1.6 million followers. He's someone who's going to be in this space for a long time. And it seems like he's been in this space for a long time. Very well connected, a lot of clout, a lot of influence. So if he's going to build, and based on what he's done in the past, I really think that the team is in good hands. There's COO Ryan Carson. I've seen him in a couple different podcasts and Twitter spaces talking about the project. He was the CEO of Treehouse, which was acquired. Don't know too much about that. For the artist, it's going to be Justin. So he's going to be the co-founder and, you know, really the main artist from my understanding of this project. So you can check out his portfolio here on his Twitter. He's designer, illustrator. He's worked with some really big companies, or at least he's had some massive clients: Google, Twitter, Disney. These guys have professional experience. They're not, you know, teenagers that are, you know, starting up a project or some kind of derivative. These are real guys that have worked for real companies that are going to bring real value. So some key alpha for you. Mint is going to be 2.5 ETH. It's going to take place on the 16th. So I think on Friday, which I believe is the 15th, we'll know whether or not I got the raffle or not. No, but we'll know who was lucky enough to win the raffle and being able to mint one of these. I think the secondary sales are going to go crazy. Something to keep in mind, nesting, that whole mechanic doesn't start until April 25th. And so mega bullish on both these projects. I hope you guys found some value here. Let me know your thoughts on these two. Let me know if there's any other projects that are upcoming that you think actually have blue chip potential, meaning long-term value for holders, innovating in the space, progressing it further. I'd love to hear it. As always, if you guys want to see any updates about projects I'm looking into or I'm liking, check out my Twitter at HotTacoMD. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'm out.